again.
Yeah, now we're live.
Yeah, of course.
We are on air.
Yeah, we're live.
All right.
Sorry about that. We had a little technical difficulties here. This is our first Raw episode here, so we just kind of working out the kinks.
Yeah, it's time for round 2. I'm on here and we're good.
I'm not sure if Boog intended me to be here, but I'm here.
Special guest Todd Ortiz.
Hey,
So we're
it's
live. It's coming up
rectangular.
live on my end, guys.
Yeah, we good. We
Yeah.
live. So what's next?
All right, we just we will. If you guys want, we can wait for Fabio, or we could just get it rolling again. We go.
We should wait for Fabio. Get him back in here. Or I guess we can roll and let him join in and go for it.
Oh,
Do you mind posting the order again?
Yep.
Yeah,
I'll
good.
go ahead and do that.
Tight.
Do I add Todd into this order now, or what do we do?
yeah, just add him at the end.
All right.
Let's see. You guys cut off when Rick was wrapping up about AI, or no, it was Emiya was talking about QC issues that he was.
That's perfect, man. That. I think we got what we needed to say done there.
I invested heavily. I'm excited.
Damn, I could hear it in his voice. He's pumped.
Yeah.
I'm trying
down.
to be brief. Yeah, I don't want to say how much, but it was a lot.
All right. I say we just get the ball rolling again, and when Fabio's on, we roll in.
All right, what's the next topic?
All right. Next topic. I mean, let's just roll with it. All right. DC Collectibles.
Yes.
Rolling out this 112 line. You know, it's called DC Icons. And, you know, when we saw it at Comic-Con, you know, it looked 100% it looked impressive. You know, it was something that people were definitely talking about. And, you know, now that we're getting these in hand, that we're seeing these reviews come out, that everything is production now. You know, there's no sample, it's all out. You know, there's a lot of people just upset about the scaling and the direction that they chose for it. I'm definitely happy with it, but let's see what the panel thinks about what the switch that DC Collectibles did. Boog, what do you think?
If it's one thing I learned about collecting is to never come out with a stance from the beginning and say this is what it is, because things change, and you know, when you get things in hand, it's always different than how you see it in pictures. And so right now I don't know how I feel. I'm just kind of indifferent about it. I'm not like a huge DC fan anyway, so it's not heartbreaking for me to start with this and then not be able to scale with other DC UC figures or Marvel Legends. It wouldn't be a huge deal to me. So if I wanted to kind of like cherry pick, for me personally, I don't think it's a big deal because I'm not even a huge DC fan like that anyway. But I think it's weird. I think it was a kind of weird choice for them to go with the smaller scale. I'm not sure what the science behind that was, but from what I've seen, I guess the only person that I've seen with them so far is Pharaoh, and they look good, man. They look great. You know, the scopes are there, the paint apps and everything is there. So we just got to see how they hold up as far as QC, and you know, I think they look good though. You know, and as far as displaying goes, if the figures are a little bit smaller, or 5-inch or 3 3/4 inch and stuff like that, those things go great when you're trying to build dioramas and stuff like that. So. I don't know. I'm excited to see what they do. I think they look fine.
Man, I am crazy excited about them. I'm a huge DC fan. It's no secret that I love me some Aquaman, and I get a new Aquaman with this telepathic little, you know, like we were talking about a minute ago, the accessories that come in there. Pancho, you know, brought that up. It's like we're getting alternate heads, hands, weapons, effects. I mean, and now there's, you know, bringing the scale down a little bit. And to reiterate what Boog said, it's great, man. I started playing, you know, imports whenever they started finally kicking in. You know, what was it? You know, years ago, and they're smaller. They're just the versatility that you're going to get out of these figures. And now we can build like multi-scale photos using smaller, these perfect versions pretty much of the DC characters. And then we can utilize these great sculpts that we've got from the past, DC, the new DC collectibles and DC Directs, you name it, man. I mean, everybody's got their favorites in these lines. And this is just going to open up an entire new world for DC fans. And, I'm so excited about this just because of the perfect looks we got and all the accessories. Just wait until you get them in your hand and then, make your final call. I'm going to pass it over to Fabio. Fabio, you're on mute. Just let you know.
Every damn time, I'm muted. Don't worry. I know what I'm doing.
Take two.
Anyway, I'm not a huge DC guy either, honestly. I've got some DC Universe classics, but basically just the classic Justice League and the Watchmen figures that were on Matty Collector. I actually got those on sale, so I ended up getting all of them. That's the extent of my DC collection right there. So I'm kind of on board with hopping on this line. The scale, it does need a little bit of fudging, but I'm okay with it. I think, if they pack in the details and the accessories and the articulation, I'm okay working with the scale. MSD stuff is something I'm sure a few of us are familiar with, so you can always fudge the scale just a little bit. And I'm excited for it just as its own line. It's a really cool line of classic DC characters rendered in a little more realistic style than, say, the DC Universe Classics, which had that kind of cartoony uniformity to them. They all kind of look the same, and then they share the same body mold, which works as that line. But I'm not mixing my icons with my DC Universe Classics personally, so I'm excited for these icons just to kind of start up a real fresh DC collection with some well articulated and well sculpted figures. So I'm on board. I think they look great. I'm probably just gonna wait for some select characters though. Your Batman, your Superman, your Wonder Woman. That Green Arrow does look nice. I might have to pick. Yeah. I mean, I think it's a great looking line. I'm excited.
Don't forget the Aquaman.
Yeah, I'm really happy for Billy. I'm really happy for Billy. I'm not a major DC fan.
Good man.
Actually, a good friend just gifted me the Mezco 112 Dark Knight Returns Batman, which is an amazing figure, and I literally just started watching Gotham a few days ago. So that's kind of led me a little bit towards that world. I just never generally collected Marvel comics from the get. So Secret Wars, I jumped on Secret Wars, the original one, and so I never really went towards DC. But yeah, man, anytime that is something good for the community, something exciting, and there's a following there, it's always a good thing for everyone across the board. So I'm excited for those who are happy about getting these. I haven't seen many. I haven't even seen any reviews, but I'll definitely check out the reviews and see what people are saying about them. And cheesy.
Yeah, I mean, I really like them. I think they look really good. When it comes to the scale displayed, you can do whatever you need to do with those. But when it comes to, figure photography and videos and stuff, if you know what you're doing, you can make the scale work, no doubt about it. And they just look really good. I was very impressed by the articulation on them. Very excited for that Batman. They're doing a Flash as well, and that looks really good. They just look tight, just like everybody else. I'm more excited for Billy than probably myself.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. It's
But
great.
yeah, it's all been said so far. The articulation looks like it's there. Detail looks like it's there. The scale doesn't bug me as much as it might bug some other people, and even for other people, it probably doesn't bug them that much. So I don't know. I just think they look good. As a casual fan of the DC line and all that stuff, it really speaks to me and it appeals to me. The bulk of my DC characters in my figure collection pretty much is Batman and his Rogues Gallery. So this will be a really good addition. And I love them. I think they're really cool.
All right, I guess I'm up. I was at Comic-Con this year, and I was actually with Emiya over there. We were at Comic-Con, doing what we had to do, getting whatever exclusives we could, and I come back from doing whatever it is that we were doing, going to to the Yu-Gi-Oh creators line or getting a Goku, whatever it may have been. And when we come back, we're at the booth and people start telling me about this line that DC Collectibles just showed, and people knowing the person that I am tell me, oh dude, they got a 1/12 scale Static Shock over there. So I run over there, I go to look, and sure enough, a character that I just never even imagined was gonna get a figure was there right before my eyes with a whole bunch of other great looking figures. To me, I've never been a person that collected for scale. I don't center my collection around 1/12 or 1/6 or 1/7 statues or whatever. I collect basically whatever the hell I can for the characters and shows that I love. So that has never been a factor for me. And when I saw that it was smaller, actually it was even better for me. It fits more in line with what I have a majority of, which is imported figures. Even though I personally won't be mixing them, that's there. For those that do, and I'm loving the selection of what they have to give us. We've seen, again, probably one of my favorite heroes of all time, Static Shock, in his first appearance costume from Rebirth of Cool. That's incredible. That Aquaman with the sonar head and all the accessories that just these characters come with is just sick. And not to bash anyone or put any companies out there, but Mattel is not doing it. And when you were at the con, and we heard from Mattel at a panel that they were going to bring back DCUC, and that they were going to bring these figures again, and we saw these pictures of just, sorry for being crass, but just shit we've already gotten. Mm-hmm. Just stuff that we already have in the same molds over and over. There is no other 1/12 line that needs more invigoration than DCUC. These guys are just doing what we don't need. We don't need another, Superman and another Batman. And if we did, then you should give us something different. They're still using these same molds, and it's so flat. When they announced it, I was there. When they announced it, nobody gave a shit. Nobody was going like, oh man, DCUC is back. We're in this. No one. But people were talking about what DC Collectibles was doing. That they were going to do this new line in that scale, and people were excited for it because I wasn't even there, and people were coming up to me and telling me what was there, and it just goes to show. And somebody just randomly told me, oh man, DCUC's coming back, and they're using the same molds again, and we just all looked at each other like, oh, okay.
Yeah, a lot of people I know have pretty much sold off their DCUC collection for the most part, or traded it off.
I'm one of them. I went ahead and did the same.
Rick, Flash treadmill.
Oh my God! Yeah, the cosmic treadmill, absolutely incredible. The accessories they're putting with these figures, and the price point, and it looks like so much of these are going to be individual molds. It's just it's incredible.
I just think the biggest thing with DC Collectibles is just going to be quality control, man. They had these Batman animated series figures, and the first couple of waves of those were a little sus, man.
It's no question.
Some of the newer ones though, and I won't say that they've been breaking, but the articulation is still not exactly where I'd like it to be. But the quality control has been better, though, no question about that. Though.
Well, and also, if you have any trouble with that quality control, BillMaru.com.
Shameless plug right there.
I fixed a lot of them, guys. Seriously, it's pretty bad. It's really bad. They're still using that cheap, that clear resin plastic that just snaps so easily. Anyways, that's a topic for another day.
No doubt.
So far, what we've seen is good. I'm totally excited for what they're bringing. And I couldn't be happier. I hope that people buy this line, as much as possible and, support what it is. I understand a lot of these people, including some here on chat, like to focus their collection on more, Marvel Legends scaled 1/12 figures. But I hope that, as many people as possible push this line because, they're doing exactly what people need. DCUC is just, even though it's a thing again, it's just not something we need anymore. We don't need that same body mold a million times over, and the same characters over and over again. And I'm liking what DC Collectibles is doing, and I hope it continues and that people support it. And we're gonna change the order now that we got Todd on here, and Todd is gonna be going next.
Yeah, I'm not a DC fan, but I'm happy for those that are. That, you know, anytime you're getting figures that you can, you know, do cool photographs with. I mean, Feral Black's been killing them with those figures, and you know he's just going to keep putting out really quality work. You know, when he gets the, you know, the other figures from that line. But yeah, I agree with Billy. It's like so many of these companies, you know, everybody likes to crap on Hasbro, and they should in some respects. In fact, I started a Facebook page just for Marvel Legends QC issues, which you should all join. But the majority of problems with Hasbro is just paint, and you know a lot of us can paint. So that, to me, you know, I complain about it, but the biggest thing I hate is that's one of the things that keeps me away from companies like NECA is I've had a NECA figure break right out of the package, and you know Funko, they continue to use that crappy clear plastic for their figures, and it's like eventually people will just not buy that crap anymore. You know, it's like, so I hope them the best. I hope they, you know, don't continue to have issues.
Yeah, I will say about NECA, man, I just bought. I'm not really like a big like movie figure fan, but I bought my first NECA figure in a long time recently. It was the ultimate T800, the Terminator 2 figure. That figure is nice as hell, man. That figure is fucking dope. That figure is really, really dope. And I bought that one, and then I ended up going and getting the Leatherface figure after that too, and that figure is fucking dope as hell too. So I think when they do the ultimate stuff and they add on a little more articulation, then they turn out good. Both of those figures are quality figures, man. Now, I will say that I've seen a lot of issues with the new Superman figure and you know, different things like that. And I seen my man John P. getting in a little something today on the boards with that about that Superman figure. So I don't know. NECA is like hit or miss, but I will say that those two figures, the T800 and the Leatherface figures, are nice as hell. Very good figures, man.
I can chime in.
Okay, you guys. You got to pump the brake.
Yeah,
because
go ahead.
The NECA man, and I'd say out of the hundreds of NECA figures I have already, and I've jumped on NECA in the past maybe 2 years, so I've been collecting that for the least amount of time compared to like Legends, which I've been on board since, you know, '01 or whatever. But out of all the NECA figures I've gotten, I'd say like less than 5% of my figures have broken. Maybe like, you know, I'm always careful with them. Obviously, you got to know what you're doing. When you get a NECA figure, it's not quite like a Hasbro figure. The paint is applied differently, and the plastic that they use are different. So it's always a good idea to heat up your NECA figure. The Superman was one in particular. I just got it a couple days ago, yesterday in fact, and I was super careful with it because I had seen those exact issues with some of the arms and the legs breaking, particularly at the elbows and the knees. But it's a pin socket joint, so you just got to be careful with it. And before you start really posing it hardcore, you know, run it under some water. I'm not a big fan of that method. I prefer doing the hairdryer. But heat it up a little bit, get those joints nice and loose. Sometimes the paint will stick on there. I think the best example of the percentage of figures that are broken, for me, I have like 25 Gorilla Soldiers, and only one of those came broken. So that's a pretty good indicative of the percentage of NECA figures that'll typically break on you. I mean, it depends how lucky and unlucky you are, I guess. You know, it's a numbers game, really. If you buy enough of them are going to break. But honestly, I think NECA's quality control is better than a lot of companies, even though they do have some breakage issues, but nothing compared to Funko, nothing compared to the DC collectible stuff you guys were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Going back to Funko, my friend bought some of those Evolved figures. He bought that monster thing, broke right out of package. And that's kind of
oh man, Funko.
Yeah,
nervous about
Todd
getting
is
the
one of them.
Fallout
Todd is
figures.
You can sneeze and Funko will fall apart on you, but they look pretty. I will hit you with this. So on the NECA deal, you're right about heating them up. I've been contacted about the new Joker, the new Batman, and the new Superman all at the knees and their elbows right now. So if you're getting these figures, just like Fabio said, be careful with them. Be really careful with the knees and elbows. And the other day I fixed the leather face that Boog was talking about. The shoulder disc was completely fused inside. Now this is one of those crazy QC problems. There was no peg, and it was completely like just a solid mass of plastic. I was able to build my own, but either way, you gotta be on the lookout. But you are right. As far as NECA goes, I've been collecting NECA since the very beginning, and it's always quality plastic. Like the plastic is quality, and even the pegs are quality. But these new ones, I'm not sure about what's going on with these movie DC figures. But
Real specific on those figures, I would recommend the best way to start posing them is to actually straighten the elbow and the knees and start turning them at the joint right there at the pin socket instead of bending it, then turning it. That's going to break the joint a lot easier. If you straighten it, then turn it to unsnap the plastic and unfuse it, or rather the paint, that's going to help a lot. That's what I did with my Superman. That's what I did with Joker and Batman, and they're all right here. They're sitting in great condition.
Awesome.
All right. We never got to hear from Emiya on the new DC collectibles line.
I think the true 112 scale is good. Again, like you, Rick, I don't actually collect based on a particular scale. It's also good that that the figures are probably going to be using less of the same parts and more unique parts. I don't know if I plan to buy any myself. I'll probably end up grabbing some at some point. The ones I've seen at the conventions and stuff look pretty good, especially for the price point. I think for DC Collectibles, at least when they did the 1/18 scale figures, theirs were also true 1/18 scale also. So they were smaller than like Marvel Universe, but like the same size as like Star Wars, 3 3/4 inch. So I'm not too surprised with the direction they're taking with going with the true 112. Beyond that, it's good. It's good for the fans. To have an alternative and a company that will more than likely do more obscure, more current, also if not current, more obscure characters that a major company may be more hesitant to do.
Yeah.
That's always a good thing as well. So, but as for it being with DCUC, the figures look so different anyway, because DCUC has a specific style. Their figures are done, like the Four Horsemen have a specific sculpting style. I don't think they would look good anyway. I already don't think DC Direct looks good with like their standard the non 112. Their 110 figures look good with DCUC either. So I don't think that's really that big of a concern. But I can understand people like to mix their displays or whatever they're doing. So yeah.
All right, we're gonna move on to the next one now. Not sure. Okay, there's Boog. Next topic is gonna be on the recently done Tamashi event. We saw a lot of reveals, and stirring up a lot of questions, a lot of excitement. What are you thinking about what was revealed not too long ago, Boog?
You're muted.
He still doesn't know.
My bad. Yeah, I'm excited for all of that stuff that we saw at the Tamashi event. Well, mostly the stuff, the Dragon Ball Z stuff and the Star Wars stuff. I gave up on Hasbro Star Wars stuff, at least for the new movie. I'm gonna still continue to army build Stormtroopers from the original trilogy, but I'm going all in with the figure art stuff for the newer movie, and I can't wait to get that General Grievous and a couple other things that they showed. The Dragon Ball Z stuff obviously is really, really hot with a lot of people right now. and I think all of that stuff looked amazing. I just watched the last two Dragon Ball Z movies again recently too. I showed my girl the movies, and like I'm excited for all of those figures, especially the Beerus. I think he looks amazing. He looked dope at New York Comic Con last month, and I'm excited for all of that stuff, man. I think it looks great.
I'm actually really excited about getting freaking import Chewbacca. That just excites me to no end. I love Chewbacca. That's my favorite Star Wars character. So to get that, and I'm also with Boog on that one, man. I'm like this close to just getting rid of all my Black Series stuff. I mean, I'm a Star Wars fan, but like I said, I like Chewie. I have no connection to Dragon Ball at all. But I recently came into 3 figures. I've got like a Android 17 and a Gohan, and I just freaking can't put them down. I've been messing with this Android 17 the entire time we've been talking. I can't stop messing with this thing, so I kind of want to get into it. I kind of want to watch these shows. My buddy Anthony and my buddy Clayton are like really big into it, and they love it. So obviously there's a reason. I mean, there must be some reason that this is like a big deal. So I might actually get into Dragon Ball just because the figures are so freaking cool. Just like Al was talking about how he got the new Dark Knight, and he's like started watching the show, and he's like, all right, this might give it a chance. So I'm really excited, man. Like I said, Chewbacca. So I'm moving on to Fabio.
All right. Well, I'm not a huge Dragon Ball Z fan. I'm what you might call a filthy casual when it comes to it. I was one of those kids that would watch Toonami after school, 3 p.m. when I was like 6 years old, 7 years old, whatever. I'm not the biggest Dragon Ball fan, but I did technically grow up with the characters. I am familiar with them. Not so much GT, not so much Dragon Ball, but definitely Z. I am not a huge collector of the Tamashii stuff. I think they look really cool. I think people do some really good photos with them, really good displays. Pancho, you're here, you do awesome stuff. Dave Johnson does great stuff. Flashworks does great stuff. I love looking at the photos because it does take me back to childhood and seeing those scenes recreated. But as far as jumping onto the line, I don't think I'm going to do so. I have seen them at Barnes & Noble, and I've thought about doing it because I had coupons, but ultimately, I think I'm better enjoying them vicariously through other people. My former roommate, Kenji, actually is a big collector of them, so I see him pick up a few things, and I get to mess around with them sometimes. They're great figures. I think some of the joints are maybe a little loose for my taste. Dave Johnson was talking about that earlier. I do think they're well-constructed figures, very well-engineered action figure technology there. They're great figures, but again, I'm better off enjoying them vicariously. But talking about other Tamashii Nation products, I just went to a local toy show here in Southern California called Frankenson, and there's this one booth that has a lot of imports, and every time I've gone there, I've been looking for the flame effects, but they've been out of stock pretty much every time I've gone there, and sure enough, I went this past Wednesday, and they had the red flame. I've got it right here, and while I was there, I went ahead and picked up a gray explosion, and then a gray ground effect, and then the blue thunder effect, as well as a second red explosion. I went all out on these effects. What they're doing with the effects, I'm 100% in on because they're really facilitating display art. They're providing some great accessories for what we do, and I think they look great. For some of my NECA stuff, they are a little bit small, particularly the explosions. They're a little bit more on the 5-6 inch scale, whereas NECA is more 7. But they're great. I'm all in on those. And I'm excited to see what more stuff they put out with effect-wise. I think that's a really cool little market that they've made as well. And A.C.B.A. does some similar stuff, and we're definitely working on some similar ventures. So it's exciting stuff.
Hold up real quick, talking about those effects, man. Let's talk about that troll that always be trolling your videos, Pancho, that said something that said something about A.C.B.A. and when you try to take over shit. Let's call him out.
Okay, so there's this cat that always comments on my videos, and then he tried to drop some knowledge, according to himself, that A.C.B.A. people do stuff in the figure community, and then A.C.B.A. just slaps its label on it, like we decided to make it up, and that's definitely not true, because half of the things he was talking about, we literally pioneered, so I don't know what he's talking about. He said, his choice analogy was, say you have a sponge in your house, but if I'm an artist, I can use a sponge, but I don't say that the sponge was made for my art. And I'm all like, that's not the case here at all. I don't know what's going on.
Jesus. Oh my God.
People
So
are
expect
funny.
him to chime in here.
He's got a man crush on you, man.
Oh man. Yeah, for me, man, it was funny because yesterday, as Rick gave us the list of topics that we were going to talk about, this part came up, and I was with my girl, and she kind of looked at me. She's like, "Yo, it's unbelievable that you love these DBZ figures, but you've never watched an episode of DBZ." And it's true. I have never watched a full, complete episode of Dragon Ball Z. But I've been collecting I've been collecting for a long time, and so I hopped back in '95 with the Power for Star Wars. But before that, I was collecting. Let's take G.I. Joe out the equation. But when Secret War started dropping the 5 points of articulation figures, so to have, when I first got one of these figures, it's amazing to go from that to having a figure arts DBZ figure in my hand. It's just an amazing action figure. So a lot of times I don't think you necessarily have to be a big fan of a particular cartoon or anime and what have you. I respect. One of the things I love about action figures is the art of the figure. It takes true artists to kind of come up with these amazing figures, and I can appreciate the art. So it's something that I'm going to collect, and I'm eventually going to get into watching the anime and kind of getting a little more into it and understanding what these figures are, what these characters are all about. But you just can't take away from the fact that they are amazing figures. And yeah, just to touch a little bit on what Pancho was saying, because I've heard that before as well, where we start to push a particular, whether it's flame effects or what have you, and everyone kind of hops on the whole, why do y'all feel like, there was toy photography before A.C.B.A. and they were posing before A.C.B.A. Yeah, they was, but not to the level that we're taking it. It's not to the level of tournaments. It's not to the level of having a really strict set of rules in terms of posting pictures, because I always say we're trying to basically rip from a comic book, rip a panel from a comic book and make it come to life tangibly, So I think it's too bad that people feel that way, But you're always gonna have those people that have their opinions, which is hilarious. Whatever. We're just gonna keep doing what we're doing, and at the end of the day, yeah, man, you can't front on that. What's happening with A.C.B.A. is definitely making some money for some companies, and that's just, it is what it is.
Man, those guys hate those rules, don't they?
Oh man.
They hate the rules.
What
Yeah,
can you do?
it's funny because let somebody get pulled over. You get pulled over. You're driving a car. Whatever. You're not following the rules. You break the law. Nah, man, that's that. Whatever. I didn't feel like stopping. There was no other car, so there was a stop sign, but no other car in the vicinity. So I just kept going through it. Whatever. You're still gonna get a ticket or a warning. Come on, don't come with that. That's ridiculous.
Oh man, worse.
Yeah, so I guess it's my turn to speak on the Tamashii Nations event.
Wait.
I'm gonna be up front. As soon as I saw that there's Dragon Ball stuff happening at Tamashii event, I didn't give a shit about anything else. No offense. But for the last couple of months, maybe the last couple of years, I know people were really doubting the SH Figure Arts line for Dragon Ball, saying that they weren't coming out with a lot of characters or this and that. And then I just feel like everybody behind the scenes at Tamashii Nation was just like collecting all those comments and just going like, just wait and see till this Tamashii event. And then they literally like kicked the door down with tons of new figures. I think there's like around 10 new figures that they debuted, and it was just like, it's phenomenal. Like, of course there's like Goku bodies and stuff like that, but there's a lot of new updated technology for these Goku bodies. Like the leg technology is a lot different. Same thing with the Trunks and the Vegeta bodies in their Saiyan armor. It's completely new technology. Like the legs and like the hips and everything. It's just unreal. And then I know I'm jumping across like spot to spot, but there's just so much stuff that they unveiled. And the thing I'm most excited about is the Kid Goku that they unveiled because it just opens up the door for so many possibilities and so many new characters. Like you can do a Goten, you can do a Kid Trunks, you can do like Chaozu, you can do Kid Krillin. And not only does it open up the door for just new characters in Dragon Ball Z, but it also opens up, gives you possibilities for branching out into just regular Dragon Ball. And then, Dragon Ball GT, if any of those people care. I think the 12 of you that are left that still like Dragon Ball GT, if you guys want those figures, that's pretty cool for you. Whatever, but they just put a lot of new stuff out, and it shows that they're really serious about the future of this line. A lot of people are a little upset that a lot of these new figures are from newer material from Dragon Ball Z, but but it's from Dragon Ball Super. But I feel like it's not necessarily like they're forgetting about Dragon Ball Z and earlier Dragon Ball Z stuff. I feel like they're just trying to strike when the iron's hot for all this material with Dragon Ball Super, because these characters are new, and I know a Nappa was announced years ago, and people are all like, "Where's our Nappa? Where's our Nappa?" 20 years from now, people are still going to care who Nappa is, but who's to say people are going to care who, Vados or Champa are, like, or people call Girl Wees and Fat Bills. Like, who's to say, what these characters are going to be like 20 years from now? But I think Tamashii Nations, and they know that the classic characters from Dragon Ball Z are going to resonate with people no matter what, and they can take their time bringing those figures out. There's a reason that Dragon Ball Z, this franchise, survived for 17 years without putting out any new content, animation-wise or manga-wise. Like, I feel like they know what they're doing, and they definitely showed what they were doing with the Tamashii Nations event, whether it be the new Gokus, the new molds that they're doing with the Goku. There's a new mold for the Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan body. It looks really, it's nice and like thin and everything. It looks really good. I know a lot of people were really mad about the Angel Goku because it's literally just the same Goku body, just with wings and a halo on. But through Tamashii Nation's Instagram, they unveiled that could just be just a stand, and it's just an accessory pack where it's the stand and the wings and the halo attached to the stand. So, hopefully that's the case. Because I do not want to buy another Goku. I will, but I do not want to. But yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff coming from this thing, and it's just too much to talk about every single figure in detail, but overall I was very, very impressed. Rick, what do you think? You're a big Dragon Ball Z dude, right, Rick?
Yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let Todd go first on this one, just because I know he doesn't collect this stuff, so it's better to get him off the way, and just go with me and Keiyo after that point. You go first, Todd, on this one.
Yeah, I have no affinity to DBZ, or I know next to nothing other than I know people are crazy about it. I do love SH Figure Arts. I think fans of DBZ are extremely lucky that they have such a great company making their figures, because everything. I mean, I only have a few, but those are by far my favorite figures in my collection. They're just so well constructed, and I love all the effects that they've been putting out. Spectacular, yeah. The only thing I am critical about is I feel bad for collectors like Pancho, because it seems like they milk the same, like, oh well, this character has a different colored belt, so you have to buy the whole figure just to get that. There's so many different costumes, and they just put out another, instead of just like giving you an accessory pack.
Right.
You know what I mean? So in a way, I kind of feel like they're screwing you guys, but hey, keep giving them money because they're putting out stuff that I want.
I don't know.
Whatever.
I guess I'll go on to myself now. Like Pancho said, I'm a big fan of DBZ, and I'm just a big fan of a lot of what Tamashii does. I buy a lot. I buy way too much, and I'm excited for a lot of what they've shown. Getting other things, into the mix. The Star Wars stuff was really cool. Mace Windu, somebody that I did not expect to get. I honestly would figure Finn before Mace Windu. That was cool to see. The General Grievous.
Well, well, actually, I don't want to interrupt, Rick. The reason they didn't show any Episode 7 figures was probably because they weren't allowed to show them.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Mm.
And General Grievous was awesome. It's exactly what I hoped for from this line. I wanted a character like Grievous represented in this style. We just got those elites, and they're terrible. They're trash. Um, yeah, I had one in hand. My friend bought one, and literally the Grievous broke out of the box. And I'm hearing the same from a lot of people, and it's just it's cool for those that like it. It's a nice display piece, but it's just not for me. And I got exactly what I wanted to hear. General Grievous coming, and a lot of other great stuff from the Star Wars line, and I'm loving what they're doing with that. I know there was a lot of hate going on for what they showed for Marvel. They showed that Black Widow, and they showed that Hawkeye. The Hawkeye looked just fine. I'm happy with how it looks. But a lot of the butt of the joke, a lot of the butt of the jokes going around is on that Black Widow, and just how she looks like Rocky Dennis. That face. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. That face is very troubling. I hope that it's just that the picture was at a bad angle. It's a shitty camera. It's not really what it looks like. I'm hoping, or I'm hoping that they change it, because that face was inexcusable. We had a few bumps in the road, with what we got from Thor, and I just kind of hoped it was an oversight. It was just something that they wanted to put out. But with that Black Widow, it's troubling seeing what is there. And I'm hoping, again, either the pics were grainy, is a bad angle, camera's shitty, or it's going to be fixed. I'm hoping that that's what's happening, because I'm all in on this line.
That Thor was shitty, man. That Thor
had a lot of
shitty, and so was the Hulk, man. I don't care what anybody says. Y'all could try to flip it however you want to, but that lime green Hulk was shit too. So we'll see.
I'm the
Never really
opposite.
liked it either.
I'm loving that Hulk. I talked to him about it before. I love that Hulk. There's some things that I would like fixed on that Hulk, but it's not necessarily the color or the styling of it. But that Thor, for me, there's no denying that there is problems, and I hope that in the future, that Bandai or Tamashii Nations moves away from this terrible, in my opinion at least, this terrible cape technology. I don't like it. I don't like the engineering for the cape. I don't like the look of it. I don't like what you can do with it. I don't like it. Plain and simple. I don't like how it looks. And it was sad to see, but expected that was what was on the Thor. And the head sculpt was just disappointing. And I hope they tweak that Black Widow. I hope that in the next Thor that they hopefully do is going to be better than what we got with this one. And I pray that somebody offers a third-party head for that Thor, because I need it. Because this is unacceptable on my shelf. And I'm happy with the characters that they showed. The execution doesn't look as great so far, like I said, with Black Widow. Now moving on to what Pancho was getting at, with the Dragon Ball Z line. A lot of surprises. We saw the Purunga, which was crazy. A lot of people weren't impressed by it. They said, we've seen Shenron, we've not gotten Shenlong or anything like that. And they were saying the same for Purunga. I'm hopeful it'll come eventually. I'm a man of patience. They're going to do what they're going to do, and there's nothing I can change about it by getting upset. But there were some things I liked and some things I disliked. I like the what a lot of people thought was a waste. I liked that winged Goku. I thought that was cool. I thought it was. I just saw it and I couldn't help but smile. I just thought it was really cool to get. We saw him turning his back with the wave. That was cool. I am disappointed in that GT Goku. Not the Super Saiyan 4. I'm disappointed in that Goku, because I don't want any focus on GT, because I didn't like it. I was not a fan. I don't think that I need it. Will I buy it? I want to say no, but I'm lying. I'm gonna end up getting it anyway. But I don't need it. I don't need this to be out. And I'm just not a fan of that push for GT, and I hope that stays where it's at. In the shallow end of what the DBZ verse is. I was pleasantly surprised by that Vegeta, from
What happened? You had a heart attack,
It
man?
looks great. Um, I'm super excited for that. Just the possibilities of what it could come with. Hopefully, like a lot of people have said, like I've talked with Pancho many times before. The Majin head. I hope that's what it comes with. I don't
It has
mind
to.
buying it twice with a Majin version, but I don't want to. I just want it all in one, and hopefully they're able to do that. It's good. It's looking good so far, and I hope that that's what they do. Um, Unlike Pancho, though, I was disappointed with the God Goku, and there's no lying that that is what it looks like. That is not inaccurate. I suppose it's too thin for my liking, but it is what it's supposed to be. There is no denying it. My personal views aside, that is what it's supposed to be. I'm just not the biggest fan of that more slender build. And I'm going to be doing the inaccurate head swap, to most people's disapproval. That's what I'm going to do. But the head sculpt looks great. It's nice that we have a new body out at the very least. Not one that I'm too hyped for, but it's a new body that's out there. And it's available for us to use whenever now. The Kid Goku was a huge surprise too. I didn't expect that at all, and a lot of people are excited for it. A lot of possibilities of what it can go to. Like Pancho said, it can lead to things like Chaozu and to Kid Krillin and whatever else may come from being able to use that mold in the many ways I'm sure Tamashi is going to do. Uh, and overall for the event, I'm excited for what we saw. A lot of although I'm not a fan, there was the Ultraman stuff announced that some people were upset over that I'm sure Keiyo is going to go over from the event. He's going to have a lot broader stroke for this event than most of us will on here. A lot of cool. I mean, we've already seen it, but the Robot Damashi stuff was awesome. Seeing those four figures, the Zaku, the Char Zaku, the regular Zaku, the Rick Dom, and the RX-78. They were awesome to see displayed, and there were some things we hadn't seen before brought to light in those pictures, some accessories, and I hope that they're included, and I hope that they find a way to put them out there. I'm really excited for what that's going to bring to the RD line. And overall, I was really happy with the event. Some things I didn't like, some things I did like, but overall, it was good for me. So let's hear what Emiya has to say about it.
Oh, like any other Tamashi event, are we talking about the entire event, or we're just talking about Dragon
Oh,
Ball?
dude, we're doing the entire event. It's just the smaller stroke that most people have on here. But go as broad as you want with this. Talk about
Oh, okay. Well,
everything that you liked.
I'm not sure of the audience, so I won't want to bore everybody, but basically, just like any Tamashi event, the Bandai is very big on prototyping. So we see a lot of stuff. The concern is any of it, or most of it, or even half of it's going to come out. The Dragon Ball line, I know a lot of people are excited. Personally, for me, I was not surprised by the figures that are shown, only because we know Goku sells, so there's a whole bunch of Gokus and a couple of new figures. It's good. It's good that they are doing it and that it's continuing. Because we know the line just does right. Well, it did just do okay, but now with Dragon Ball Super, a lot of doors have opened up to do more merchandise for Dragon Ball. It started kind of a revival in Japan as far as merchandise. So I mean, there always has been stuff, but there's definitely more merchandise coming out now than there has been in the past, I'd say, 10 years. There's definitely more of it now. And then the fact that some of the figures that are coming out now are now lifted from the Tamashi Web exclusive is also a big sign, too, that confidence in the product, at least in the Japan market, is definitely, the expectations are definitely higher. The Angel Goku, a lot of people were disappointed, personally speaking. I mean, it's an easy thing to do, so it's a no-brainer. Of course, you do it, and it's an easy way to sell the figure again. But personally speaking, I think Figure Art Zero for that particular piece would have been a much better choice than doing SH Figure Arts. Just because it's literally only the ending sequence and its illustration. There's no reason it needs to be posable. It just needs to always look like that. So Figure Art Zero, which I think I know a lot of people in A.C.B.A. are very anti-static figures, but the Figure Art Zero line is definitely, for Dragon Ball, is definitely one of the best lines that they do for Figure Art Zero, in my opinion. The One Piece is obviously the backbone, but the Dragon Ball stuff is very solid. And particularly the Angel Son Goku, I think definitely that one should have been Figure Art Zero. Would have been perfect. I know a lot people like the Kid Goku is good. Again, it opens up the possibility for the more child characters. I don't think the Goku coming out was a big surprise in my opinion. Now, I think the surprise would just be if they do anything beyond any other child characters, beyond any of the Saiyajin characters. Obviously they can do Quiddin, they would change it up a little bit, and it could be a slightly different, but they would have the base technology, which they would have. It would be good to go with the Goku. So at some point it'll probably be done, hopefully for the fans. Besides that, the Super Saiyan God Son Goku is the new mode. Definitely looked interesting. Obviously, what was on display is a more early prototype. For all we know, it's probably not even tooled correctly, so just standing there. So there's a possibility later on it could still get improvements. We could still see new things going on with it. I'm not sure exactly when we'll see some of this stuff. Again, it is Bandai, so the prototyping always great at these events, but if you look at the track record from the past, a lot of these, they show tons of stuff, and literally half the items will be backburned for years. So, for the sake of Dragon Ball, hopefully we'll see everything, since, right now, it is a time when, there's a current TV series and everything. Seems to be a lot of concern for the Avengers stuff, particularly the head sculpts. I'm not sure really why they don't scan any of the heads. Like we know with Star Wars and the Freddie Mercury, the Bruce Lee, the Michael Jackson, they scan the heads, they get a better likeness. But it's very obvious with Star Wars, there's no scanning at all for any of the heads. I don't know why. I should probably inquire about that sometime. But the Star Wars stuff looks pretty good. At least compared to the Marvel stuff, just because there is scanning there. So, but yeah. What else was there?
I think we got to get ready to wrap it up, actually, man.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we should go on to the topic now.
Yeah, so Fabio's topic that he was going to lead on, we just close it out with that.
All right, cool. So we're going to call this segment Pre-Order Alert. All right, so I'm basically just going to run through what stuff is coming out, what stuff you have personally pre-ordered or are on the lookout for and are most excited about getting, or maybe it's already been ordered and you're just excited to receive it in the mail now. I'll start with, well, I'm going to go all NECA, honestly, because as far as like Legends and stuff, there's a couple things here and there I'm interested, but I'm pretty much all caught up on waves right now until the end of the year, and hopefully they don't hit us with any more this year because it's been a pretty big year for Legends. But as far as NECA stuff, we got that in just a couple weeks. We have the retro video game Jason, so that's going to look like the old NES game sprite, and it's actually a re-release of the original video game figure that had come out, which is a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive in 2013. So they're re-releasing the same figure, but with a new accessory of the mother's head, and instead of glow-in-the-dark parts, it's just going to be painted to look like glow-in-the-dark. But the big thing about this re-release is that when you open the flap on the box, it actually plays the theme song from the game, so it's just like a greeting card kind of thing. So that's something pretty cool. I mean, I'm all caught up on the video game figures. I think they're up to 12 now because the Friday the 13th one is the 13th one. So I think they're all great. They basically just take repainted figures or they take existing molds and repaint them to maximize the tooling costs. So I'm excited for any of those that are coming out. Right after that, we're going to have the Terminator 2 T800, which is a repaint of the Ultimate that Boog was talking about earlier. Great figure. They also just announced a couple weeks ago that they're going to be doing Hateful Eight figures, which is the new Quentin Tarantino flick. It's a spaghetti western kind of thing. Great figures coming out of there. It's going to be 8 of the main characters. So we've got Kurt Russell, we've got Samuel L. Jackson in the retro cloth style. So they're 8-inch figures with hard-casted heads and kind of uniform bodies, but they all have real cloth clothing, which looks amazing. And these are all like thick Western wear, so it's pretty cool to see how it's going to translate onto an actual figure. Staying on the retro stuff, let's see what else is coming out. We've got the NECA Genocide Alien Queen, which is the red one. I have the regular Alien Queen here, so I'm excited to have the red one as well to lead my red aliens. And that's coming out. I believe it's shipping next week, so that should be in hands in the next couple of weeks. I'm really excited for that thing. Again, it's a repaint of the regular Alien Queen, but with some new sculpting on the face. We've also got shipping this week, in fact, is the Home Alone figures. So we've got Kevin McAllister and the 2 Wet Bandits. So that's pretty exciting stuff. I'm excited to get for a little side project that we're working on. Finally have an excuse to make a display for those. I'm all in on the retro cloth line, so these Home Alone figures were a no-brainer already, but now I'm excited to be able to take them out of their packaging and do some cool stuff with them. And what's great about those figures, too, is that it's actually collector-friendly packaging, so you can take them out and then put them back in their bubble when they're done with all their accessories. Big thing that NECA's doing lately, they did it with the Superman that just came out and the Adam West that we talked about earlier. Big move that they've been doing in the past year to make things a little more collector-friendly. So I'm really excited for anything and everything NECA coming out. I've got fingers in each pie of each line. The Alien stuff that's coming out, the next wave is going to be based on the Alien Isolation video game, which is starring Amanda Ripley, who is Ellen Ripley's daughter, and the search for her mother and all that stuff. Great game, scary as hell. Haven't beaten it yet because it is very scary and very hard. And it's a great game. I'm excited for the figures. We're going to get Amanda Ripley in the jumpsuit. We're going to get Amanda Ripley in the pressure suit, and we're going to get the Xenomorph from Alien Isolation, which is a retooled alien big chap from the original Alien film. And then beyond that, we're going to have the next line of Predator. I think it's Series 17, which is all based on Alien vs. Predator, the terrible flick from like '04 with those big like linebacker-looking Predators. But what I like about the figures that are coming out is that they sort of scaled them down a little bit and made them look a little more lean and muscular like the original Predators, as well as giving them some really freaking crazy bios on the back that actually make you care about the characters and take all the details that they applied to the figure and give them a story, which is awesome. I love what they've done with the Kenner stuff. Another big thing that they're doing is the Kenner Aliens, which is going to be in 2016, but we're going to get like the Bull Alien and all those like crazy designs from Kenner. So I'm excited for all that. That's basically going to take us into the end of the year, where we'll be seeing the Ultimate Sarah Connor from Terminator 2. That is the big release that I am waiting on, probably the most excited out of anything. I'm so excited to put her next to my my Ultimate T800, and then a little bit after that, we're going to get the Ultimate T1000. So lots of NECA shit coming out. I'm excited for pretty much all of it. Make sure you... the best place I would say to get your NECA stuff is on their eBay page. They put it up pretty much a little bit before they actually start shipping to stores, so you can get them directly from their eBay store, and they ship with priority shipping directly to your house. So that's a good way to get your NECA stuff early. But like we talked about earlier, quality control is sometimes an issue. So personally, I like getting my figures in person. And that's going to take it over to Al. What are you excited for? What's your pre-order alerts you get?
Man, you know, it's funny because I have so many things I haven't opened and photographed yet, even mess around with. I really wasn't, I didn't get a lot of time at New York Comic Con. I was there maybe for an hour and a half before I passed my passes along to Ty. So I'm just gonna keep it Marvel Legends and DBZ, SH Figure Arts masterpieces. G.I. Joe. I'm still on the G.I. Joe trip. There's not much that I've looked at that has gotten me super excited. Definitely excited about the articulate icons. Probably more than anything, just because sometimes I'll just look around my room and be like, man, I have enough. I can't keep doing this. I need to open some of these up and mess with these. So I'll make it nice and short. Take one for the team and pass it on to Pancho.
Oh, yeah, I got. I had, like probably a lot of you. I have way too much stuff on pre-order, so I'll just go over some highlights. That SH Figure Arts Hulkbuster is going to be unbelievable. It better be for the price point.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping. I have that on pre-order. That should be hitting sometime earlier next year. That's really cool. Some Dragon Ball Z stuff is coming out. The reissue of the Vegeta with the advanced colors is coming out in December, as well as the Awakening Goku when he first turned Super Saiyan. That's going to be hitting sometime in December as well, the Japanese release. What else is out? I know something really cool on. I pre-ordered on Big Bad Toy Store. Funko is doing. What are they doing? They're doing Fallout 3 characters, the Vault Wanderer, the Lone Wanderer, and the Power Armor guy. They're also doing some characters from Skyrim, the main protagonist, and some Daedric Armor guys. Those are still available for pre-order. Yeah, those are still available for pre-order on Big Bad Toy Store. They haven't shipped. My order hasn't shipped. I work at GameStop, and we got ours last week. So they've been like, yeah, Bill's got one right there. Yeah, they've been like showing up randomly everywhere. I got mine. The Fallout dude, a little bit more. I wish they would have not have his leg fall completely off. I thought it was just me, but apparently that's happened to everybody.
Yeah, right there.
Right there.
Ooh,
But
yeah.
So I don't know if you can find him in stores, that'd be great. But you know, he's definitely still available for pre-order. Outside of Dragon Ball Z, I pre-ordered the SH Figure Arts Bruce Lee. That looks phenomenal. I saw that the Figma one went up, and I accidentally pre-ordered him. And I pre-ordered him on a site that's really strict about cancellation, so I guess I'm getting the Figma one too. And then closing it out, I got the Freddie Mercury, of course. That was phenomenal. SH Figure, that's Freddie Mercury. What about you, Rick? What do you got on pre-order?
Nothing.
In typical Rick fashion, I'm just gonna since we started with Fabio, I'm just gonna switch up the order again, and I'm gonna go letting Boog and Billy since they weren't first on this one to start mixing it up. So Boog.
I'm just gonna reiterate pretty much what other people said. The Hulkbuster that's coming out, the SH Figure Arts Hulkbuster, I'm really excited for that. I hope it turns out really, really nice because again, like Pancho said, the price point is crazy for a 5-6 inch figure. I'm excited for that though. I'm excited for a lot of the SH Figure Arts stuff. I'm excited for the God Vegeta figure that's gonna be coming out next year. And I'm excited for the Spider-Man waves from Legends. I think that Hasbro might surprise us one more time with one more offering of Legends right around Christmas. I'm feeling like they might do that. I'm not, don't quote me on that. I don't have any inside information, but I think that might happen. We'll see what happens with that. But I'm excited for what they're gonna do with the Spider-Man wave next year. I'm excited to get a Miles Morales Spider-Man figure. I hope they do it justice, and I hope it turns out good. And I'm also excited for the Sarah Connor figure from NECA. I think that's going to be dope. And Articulated Icons, of course, definitely want to see what happens with that. Those figures will be out right around the time that we do the next World Tournament, so that's going to be pretty crazy as far as options for the tournament and what people are going to do, and try to break those out. Obviously every time something new comes out, people want to show it on a page and get it in displays and what have you, and be the first to do it. So those are my things that I'm excited for 2016. But 2015 has been crazy, especially in terms of like at the end of this year right now with vehicles and shit for like 6-inch figures. It's been nuts. Like, it's crazy. We never thought that they would expend this much plastic on vehicles for 6-inch figures, man. Like the TIE Fighter. You got the Judge Dredd. What's that thing called? A Law Master, whatever it is, coming out. You got, the Mafex Batpod came out. Mad vehicles for 5 and 6 inch figures came out this year that you wouldn't think, and massive things. The Batman animated series, Batmobile was nuts. So I'm excited for 2016. I see they've really tested the limit this year as far as what people would purchase and what they'll spend their money on, and I think they realize that this is a collector's market right now, and that people are going to buy it, man. They're going to buy, whatever it is they like. So 2016 should be very, very interesting. And I seen somebody comment the other day about putting together a top 10 for 2015 is going to be difficult, and it is, man. It's going to be pretty fucking nuts to try to figure that out. So this year has been amazing for collecting, man.
Man, top of my list. It's not a figure, but I can't wait to get my premium format Aquaman. Already got that on pre-order. I'm not a big, 1/6 scale collector, but I got those Mondo turtles that are being sculpted by one of the original sculptors that sculpted the original Playmates turtles. If you missed these, I feel so sorry for you. But it's really, it's digging deep into the wallet. And something that I'm really excited about is the Vulcan Log Sneak Suit Venom Snake, which nobody seems to be talking about him at all. And man, he looks fantastic. It's 6-inch Venom Snake, man, from Metal Gear 5. The sneak suit was amazing in that, and you got the old man of Solid Snake, so why not? I mean, everybody had a blast with that Figma Snake, and you can have fun with his old man too. Other than that, man, that's pretty much tapped me out. Those Mondos are not cheap, so that's pretty much it for me, man.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and have Todd go next.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm last. Let's see. I don't really have anything pre-ordered. I'm really excited for that Captain America wave. I'm not a big Spider-Man guy, so I'm probably not gonna pick up any of those waves, with the exception of I want the Absorbing Man from that wave 1. We don't know what the BAF is for wave 2 yet, and I might get the Venom. And I'm hoping that we get Shocker. The last information that I found was that we're supposed to be getting another Hobgoblin. So I hope that's not going to happen. I hope that we're still going to get a Shocker, because I'd like to get one for my villains. But I'm really excited for the Captain America wave. I don't really care. Initially, I was kind of excited to get a new cap on that new body mold for Grim Reaper, but with no scales, no sculpted scales, the face-off cap is still, hard to beat. That's still one of the few remaining Toy Biz Marvel Legends that is hard to trump. You can't throw that one away yet. So, but the rest, we're getting 2 villains and 2 females in that wave. That's just badass. It's like Hasbro is finally giving us what we want. I'm still hoping we'll get more classic characters, but I'm so happy to finally be getting a Mockingbird. So West Coast Avengers.
Do you think that has anything to do with her, showing up in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show?
It wouldn't surprise me at all. And I'm thinking we're going to get a lot of, there's going to be obviously a Civil War based wave.
You being one of the biggest Marvel Legends collectors, that's your bread and butter. How would you feel about like Agent Carter and like the Howling Commandos? Like, would you have any interest in those at all? Because the Dum Dum Dugan we got, I understand, is in the Shield suit and he looks so out of place. Yeah. I want him in. I'm a huge old school Nick Fury fan. Howling Commandos. And I would kill to have that line. Like, that's just something. I mean, with the popularity of these shows, I wonder if we've got a chance of getting stuff like that, like a Jarvis.
I kind of think that it's not very likely, just because a lot of these waves are when they do try to sneak people in, it's on the back of a movie wave.
Right.
So we're probably gonna get a Civil War wave, and all they're saying is that the Build-A-Figure for I guess Wave 2 of Spider-Man, they're saying is going to be about the same size as the Hulkbuster. Actually, no, it's not for the Spider-Man wave. I think they're saying for a second Captain America wave. Or no, I'm sorry, the X-Men wave. I'm getting confused.
No
Yeah.
kidding.
For the X-Men wave, so I'm thinking it's going to be Apocalypse.
Huh? Okay.
He's the main villain in that movie. From what we understand.
Yeah.
So,
Alright.
and I'm not a
Think
big.
they'll do figures for this wave?
Think you'll do what?
Any movie figures at all?
God, I hope not.
I mean, if they split it like they did for Days of Future Past,
Well,
we got
Dwight
a wave for
Dwight Stahl
characters,
said that
all
they are allowed to do X-Men, properties that are that they don't own as far as for movies, like for Wolverine and the X-Men mutants. Basically, they are allowed to make those figures. I think Hasbro has, or Marvel in general, has been hesitant to give Hasbro the green light because they don't want to promote those films that they don't get a cut of the profits from. So.
Right. See an Inhumans wave. That's what we need. We'll see what happens.
Eventually.
I'm just thinking they might do like they did with the Age of Ultron wave, where we got the 3 movie characters and then the 4 comic characters and then the comic Build-A-Figure, and then the later wave we got 1 movie figure and 1 movie Build-A-Figure.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Well,
Could
the
be,
good
could be
news
cool
is
if they did that for the new X-Men.
Yeah, I mean, the good news is that it looks like they're finally paying attention to us. I mean, I put out a video recently talking about, all the figures that we, like the list that Billy made of all the figures that were teased in previous, Comic-Cons and stuff, that, we have slowly filled a lot of those gaps. And so they are listening, and we are getting figures that have been Dave. I always forget his last name, but the guy who runs MarvelLegends.net. He does a top most wanted list every year, and we've already been filling a lot of those waves, with a lot of those missing characters as well, or most wanted characters. So hopefully we get Enchantress and Executioner.
Executioner,
yeah. So anyway, it's Rick's turn.
Sorry, the muting was acting up. Yeah, I've pre-ordered a lot of stuff. I pretty much pre-order stuff from sites like Ami and whatnot every day because I buy way too much. But as far as what I'm actually getting in, within the next month or so, really excited about this Guts statue coming out from Gecko that I'm going to be getting, hopefully within the next week or two. Before this, getting statues for a series like Berserk was just extremely expensive and out of my price range, which Keiyo, obviously, he has some that just look awesome, and I've just never been able to obtain them due to pricing, and, a company like Gecko is fulfilling the need that a lot of fans like me have in these Berserk line statues, and it's really awesome. I can't wait to get that in. A lot of Transformers I have coming in, the Takara versions of Black Arachnia and Nightbird Shadow and Slipstream. Those are ones I'm really happy to get. They look really good. Molds we've seen before other than Black Arachnia, of course, but they're just stuff I'm still regardless, excited to get within the next couple of weeks. What else I got coming? Or what have I pre-ordered lately? I pre-ordered a lot of that Star Wars stuff that's went up. Captain Phasma, the Kylo Ren. I have those the troopers coming in, the clone troopers and the what's their name? The bots as well. The battle droids. There we go, battle droids. Damn it. I have a lot. I have those coming in. Next month I have the re-edit War Machine coming in, which that re-edit line is just, it's sick. It's a lot of people's favorite figures for this year. The Iron Mans that have that have come out through the re-edit line are just awesome. You know, the Iron Patriot, you know, really, really nice figures. And, you know, when you get something from a company like Sentinel, you know it's just going to be out of the ballpark. You know, it's going to be something really cool to get in hand. A lot of stuff I got coming in, man. You know, just like Pancho, you know, we kind of have an order thing going on. You know, I have the Vegeta coming in soon, that recolor version. I have the Awakening Goku. I don't think Trunks is anytime soon, actually, so I don't have that coming in. But you know, a lot of good stuff coming in. You know, Masterpiece Tracks is going to be coming out, or it's already out in Japan right now, but I don't get mine until a little while later. We recently had Hot Rod for the Masterpiece line, and Shockwave come out. I know a lot of people have already fulfilled their Shockwave need with the third party piece, but I'm all about, you know, I'm all about the official stuff, and it's cheaper for me. You know, it's more cost effective for me to get into what Takara has to offer, and I'm more than happy to take what they're giving me, and I'm excited for it, especially that Hot Rod. You know, one of my favorite characters, one of the most hated characters, sadly, here in America. But I love him, and I'm excited for what I'm hopefully going to be getting within the next couple of weeks to a couple of months. What do you have to say, Emiya?
I have a pretty large pre-order list. You want me to just go with the last 10 things I pre-ordered?
Yeah.
What are the last 10 things I pre-ordered? The most recent thing I pre-ordered was a premium format Red Sonja.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been waiting for that to go up since I saw it at STCC. What else did I order? I pre-ordered the Captain Phasma Hot Toys.
Oh yeah, that piece is nice.
Yeah. I was debating to pre-order the Green Lantern, the premium format, the new one, but I just can't stand the fact that it has the classic pattern. Because it's like a modern look, but then the pattern of the costume is the classic version.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, when it went up, you showed it to me, and you asked me to point out what the problem was, and as soon as you did, I knew it was the costume that they had on it.
I mean, besides that, you know, always ordered all the normal stuff, like a lot of hot toys, all the SH figure arts like Kamen Rider, Star Wars, Dragon Ball. I pretty much buy like all the Figma figures, all the Nendroid figures. Yeah, I mean, all the Metacom, the anime figures anyway. Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly where to start, but I mean, there's a lot of good stuff coming out. So, yeah, that's it.
If I could just take us back for 1 sec, I wanted to talk about some WWE stuff that's coming out. I know we have a lot of people that collect that and do some shots, Michael Landsberg and Matt Goldberg and stuff. I do collect a good amount of them myself. I got my ring set up right here and everything. But just want to talk about some cool things that are coming out from Mattel's WWE line. The Battle Packs line. Todd, you pointed this out to me, but we've got the Adam Rose and the Bunny. That Bunny, I don't know why it's so exciting, but we're getting, a bunny. That's so cool. It's a guy in a bunny suit. It's freaking cool, man. And then for Elite 39, we're going to be getting British Bulldog, which is really exciting. First time in the line. He's going to have the big Union Jack cape that goes around him. He's going to have the beads with the dreadlocks and stuff. It's pretty cool. We got Damien Sandow as Damien Mizdow coming out to go with your Miz that just came out in 37, I think. We're going to have a new Sting based on his Raw debut, and he's going to have the red shirt and the red jacket and stuff. That's pretty cool. Ringside has a lot of pre-orders right now for stuff if you want to get like one of these like authentic scale rings, which work really well for shots. They're also doing packs of ring skirts, so if you wanted to do like a WCW ring skirt or a TLC ring skirt, as well as new ring mats, so you can have a WCW Monday Nitro ring mat for your shots, which I think is pretty cool. Goes really well with the authentic scale retro ring that they put out a little bit ago. Other than that, be looking for those Shield figures. A lot of people are using those for like just thugs or whatever. There's a new Roman Reigns coming out, so if you're interested in getting that to build more thugs, that's a pretty cool thing that's coming out. Other than that, I think that's about it on the wrestling stuff. There's a lot of basics and stuff coming out. I think most people probably collect elites, obviously for the posability, but yeah, that's about it on the WWE stuff on my end, at least. I don't think anyone else can.
I think I'm like the only other person that collects that stuff in this chat.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, a lot of cool stuff coming from Mattel for the WWE line.
Mhm.
You know, it's disappointing we're not gonna, for what it looks like, we're not gonna be getting that Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Yes.
That's a
huge.
disappointment. That's a pretty big hit for me.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff that's really cool coming out. You know, we have Ms. Dow, we have the Bulldog. You know, a lot of really nice stuff coming out, and I'm loving what they've been doing. You know, these battle packs. You know, that 4-pack with the 4 Horsemen was fucking awesome.
Mhm.
I'm loving where this line is going, and I love that we're getting women so often. You know, it was something I always feared they would kind of steer away from, but you know, they're the first ones gone. You know, you
Yeah,
go to a
exactly. I
store,
was gonna say they're the most desirable of the entire
yeah,
line.
they're the first ones gone, and you know, I'm sure it surprises them because you know, as far as they go in ring, you know, they don't get that response unless it's you know, you watch something like NXT, you know, it's a completely different ball game, but you know, as far as the main card goes, you know, not as active when the Bella Twins are out there or like when Charlotte's out there, but you know, this stuff, you know, it flies off the shelves. These girls don't stay on, you know, they're always the first thing gone.
I'm still looking for Nikki Bella. Still
No,
looking.
me too, 100%. I'm still looking for Nikki Bella.
And
I
then
don't see it.
speaking of NXT, they have a lot of new NXT figures coming out. They're actually rebranding all the packaging to make it either SmackDown designated or Raw designated or NXT or Legends and what have you. So for the NXT stuff, we're going to be getting a Sami Zayn in Elite 40, which is really cool. He comes with the NXT title belt. Another one I'm really excited about because I have the Cesaro already is the Tyson Kidd, which is
Oh
like his
yeah, that's
first
gonna be
Elite
sick.
figure in fucking years. And shout out to Tyson Kidd because the dude's still recovering from a terrible neck injury, just almost shattered.
And it's
survival
sadly
championship of injury,
sadly
and he
not even sadly it's not even looking like he may come back, and I hope that that's not the case. You know, I know Brett was pretty upset with what went down, but you know, it's just such a freak accident. There's nothing you can do. You know.
Mm-hmm. Nobody go blaming Samoa Joe. It's not Samoa
No,
Joe.
he's done the move for 10 years and nothing
Yeah.
has happened. You know, it's just a freak accident and people just take it too far.
Another huge one, ravishing Rick Rude with the robe and everything. That's a big
Oh
one.
yeah, that's incredible.
That mullet and
I
that
can't
mustache, perfect.
A1, I can't wait for that one.
And then one last battle pack that I'm excited for is the Ascension to go with my Stardust. Now that they're so somewhat relevant in the show, you can do a little something with your Stardust.
Yeah, that's and J&J Security. You know, that's gonna be
Thank you.
awesome.
Yes, that's the other one I'm forgetting. J&J Security, Army Builders. Oh, that is
yeah, man.
there.
Yeah, get used to those figures because everyone in this chat, although they are, is probably going to end up buying them because they're perfect army building fodder. You know.
Mm-hmm. My only concern is that they are not elite articulation. They only have forward back movement on the leg. But they're still suited guys. They hang out in the background, whatever.
No, yeah, I agree. You know, hopefully, hopefully one of them does have them at the very least. But either way, I'm happy to get them just because Jay, having them for displays is sick. So.
And Kevin Owens figure is exciting too from NXT. Looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a nice piece too. I love Kevin Owens, one of my favorites to watch in ring right now.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. And that about wraps it up. I'm just going through the pre-orders list on Ringside Collectibles, but that's probably one of the best places to get your WWE wrestling stuff, as well as accessories. You can get a lot of really good accessories on Ringside, as well as WrestlingSuperstore.com. They sell just packs of trash cans and dumpsters and shovels and road construction equipment and what have you.
The
Good
wheelchair.
Accessories.
They got a great wheelchair on there. Just saying.
Yeah, I got that wheelchair. Great.
That's nice, man.
It's a wheelchair and crutch set, which is awesome, and it comes with a
neck brace. Yeah, and the neck brace.
Yes.
It's very cool.
I think that about wraps it up, don't you think?
I think so.
Yeah, I think we're definitely good. Boog, any thoughts on what we did tonight? What you liked, what you're excited for going on with the show?
Yeah, Boog. What do you think?
He's gone.
I think he's not even.
I think you passed out.
He's watching Walking Dead already, like Al is trying to sneak it.
Yeah.
I know that
Yeah,
we
I'm
on this
watching
panel.
Walking Dead. I'm not even gonna front.
I know we on this panel tend to be, over excited with what we do. We went on pretty long, but I hope the audience, listening enjoyed the show. This is fun to do. We're gonna be back. Hopefully more than a monthly show. We're gonna be doing it. So
Definitely. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the future. This is a really good way to reach out to the audience.
yeah, 100%. Couldn't agree more.
Thanks for letting me crash, guys.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, let's all give our outros and tell everybody where everybody can find us, and let's say goodbye.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
First.
Fabio,
not
you
here,
want
so
to?
yeah.
Fabio,
Quib's
you
not here,
can.
so
Yeah, go ahead and start us off.
Okay, you got it. Well, my name's Fabio. They call me Colonel Krackers. You can follow me at Colonel Krackers across social media. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube, on Twitch, a little video game live streaming every now and then. Been doing some Fallout gameplay recently. Great game. Can't recommend it enough.
Fabio,
Twitter. I'm on Twitter at Colonel Krackers as well, but I'm literally only there to talk to NECA, so, whatever.